She was struck by the urge to kiss the dark shadow, to lick it with her tongue and feel it prickle against her lips. She was actually leaning forward when he gently pushed her away. She turned away, utterly mortified by her behavior, and wondered briefly if she could pry the doors open and climb down the elevator shaft to get away from him. Instead, she walked gingerly across the elevator to rescue her cell phone. He opened the control panel door and picked up the black telephone receiver that was attached to it. He held the receiver to his ear, waiting patiently. Lucy stared at her cell phone and muttered a curse. The screen was shattered, but she pushed a few buttons, knowing it was pointless but trying anyway. "Shit," she muttered. He scowled at her and made a shushing gesture with his hand. "Yes, hello. This is Jason, Young from the 27th floor. It seems our elevator has broken down." She shoved her phone into her purse and tried not to think about the fact that there was no way out. Already her chest was tightening and the air in the elevator seemed too warm. She wasn't exactly claustrophobic, but it was useless to deny that tight spaces made her uncomfortable. She fanned herself with the top of her blouse before unbuttoning her suit jacket and removing it. She placed it neatly on the floor of the elevator as he hung up the phone. "Are they sending someone to fix it?" she asked. He shrugged out of his own suit jacket, and she ignored the way his white dress shirt clung to his powerful shoulders and accentuated his wide chest. Apparently the power is out to the entire block, some kind of power surge. Until they can get the power back on, we're stuck in here. "Shit," she muttered for a second time. She looked up at the ceiling panels. "Can't they send in, I don't know, firemen or someone to open up the ceiling and let us out that way?" He gave her a wry look. "I doubt that two people stuck in an elevator is a top priority for them right now, Ms. Reed." She flushed at his condescending tone and fanned herself with her shirt again. Sweat was starting to trickle between her breasts and she unbuttoned the top two buttons and stuck her head down her top, blowing lightly to try and cool herself. Jason watched as Lucy unbuttoned the top two buttons out of her shirt. He nearly groaned loud when it revealed her smooth, pale skin and a hint of cleavage. He'd had numerous fantasies about seeing her round, full breasts. But in the 6 months since he joined the firm, she had never worn anything that didn't button nearly to her throat. She favored tailored business suits that hid her breasts and downplayed the generous curve of her ass. He had realized how temptingly full and ripe her breasts were about a month after he started. It was another late night and he was on his way home when he had glanced casually into her office. As he walked by, she was standing in front of the window, her jacket and shoes lying forgotten on the floor and her hands in the small of her back. She was stretching, and he had gotten an immediate and embarrassing erection at the sight of her large breasts straining enticingly at the fabric of her shirt. He had stared at her for a few moments, memorizing every line of her curvy body before hurrying down the hallway with his dick throbbing and his pulse pounding. Since that night, he